Hello and welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. Oh, skied that one. Sorry, you put me off my routine. Welcome back to another TCF Sport podcast with me, Steve, and him, Ben.
There goes my microphone.
Already the ratings have improved.
Some world-class acting there. World-class acting.
Who's acting? Oh, you didn't even apologise. Bumped into me, didn't even apologise.
Pathetic. I mean, it's been a few weeks now since
Yeah,
that happened, but absolutely pathetic, wasn't it?
For those that are listening, we tried to recreate the Bruno penalty.
We did recreate the Bruno penalty.
Oh, my shoulder. I should have gone down, like, rolling around in agony, shouldn't I? Like,
oh, rumour has it the ball still hasn't landed.
is it next to Yap Stams from Euro 2000? I know I've said it on this podcast before, but watching it with Dad, he'll score.
How you been anyway? Good?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad at all. Been a few weeks since we recorded because last episode that we did was before the season started, wasn't it? When we recorded 2 in one night. They were definitely a week apart.
Yeah. Oh, did we not record after match week 1?
We didn't record after match week 1.
Oh wow, because I know we didn't do match week 2, and then we had the international break, didn't we? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, it's been a few weeks.
3 match weeks, yeah, and then the international break. So it's been a little while.
A lot's gone on in football and in the world, isn't it, since we last recorded?
Just a little bit. I think we'll focus only on the football.
Yeah, we keep politics out. No taking the knee here.
Yeah. Where do you want to start then? I guess how we should get into it.
It's your podcast, Benjani. You tell me where you want to start.
I want to start. I'm disappointed I'm not up on the screen. No, I'm joking. Nuno
that can be arranged.
Mr. Marinakis is where we should start because I feel like that's a bit, well, as we said, there's quite a few talking points to get through, but as probably the freshest since Postecoglou was appointed, all happened very, very quickly. So yeah, Nuno out, Ange in. 2 things really. One, your thoughts on the sacking of Nuno, both how it was handled, what he said in the media. I don't know if you'd seen any of his press conferences when he's been speaking a while. Basically, he wasn't happy with the transfer business.
I think, sorry, excuse me. I think before match week 2, did he say about how the relationship had changed?
With the owner, yeah. And there have been reports that Marinakis was lining up Postecoglou to replace him while he was still in post. But fundamentally, I think the relationship had changed, or it had changed because the appointment of Edu. Nuno had a massive falling out with Edu as soon as Edu was appointed. The relationship was irreparable, according to articles that I've read from The Athletic, so they're very well sourced, because of a personal incident or a personal comment that hasn't been revealed. I don't really know, obviously if it hasn't been revealed, I don't really know what's happened, just know that that relationship was never going to be repaired. Nuno then came out and said quite a lot publicly in terms of transfer business because Edu in his role, not just at Forest, but Olympiacos and Rio Ave, the Portuguese club that Marinakis owns as well, oversaw a lot of transfer business in the summer. Fundamentally, I think Nuno wanted Adama Traore. Instead, they went out and signed Amari Hutchinson for club record signing. Nuno then left Hutchinson out of his Europa League squad, which he's not going to be in charge for anymore. But it just went sour and south very, very, very quickly. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on how the relationship broke down? Or more to the point, that's why I asked about Nuno. Should he have said what he said publicly? Should he have come out and voiced his frustration so publicly?
He wasn't unprofessional in it, was he?
No, it's just surprising to see a manager say as much as he did, as publicly.
Well, he was never going to quit, and if they wanted to get rid of him, they'd have to sack him, wouldn't they? So he obviously knew the writing was on the wall, so decided to just tell it how it is.
Well, because the second facet to that, in terms of the writing being on the wall, is that Marinakis has a very good relationship with Postecoglou, spoken throughout the summer.
Oh, friend.
Yeah.
Manager friend.
Greek friend. It goes beyond the summer, but they've spoken to each other quite a lot this summer. So it felt like Nuno already, for him, the writing was on the wall. Him and his camp thought that Marinakis was lining up Postecoglou to replace him. Obviously, that can also be linked back to the end of last season when Marinakis came onto the pitch and there was that very public display of frustration. That was probably the beginning of
it, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, well...
But he needs to have a look at himself because the season before just survived in the league.
Yeah.
So, which we discussed, didn't we, on this podcast?
I get expectations change throughout the season, but the fact that Nuno got them into European football, Europa League, yes, it should have been Conference League, but Europa League, qualifying for Europe for the first time in 30 years, I mean, we had them to go down last year. Not that our predictions are anything to go by, but that's.
But we had Nuno to be sacked.
Yeah. Oh, already this season. Yeah. So then
this season, not last season.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I think we had him to be sacked last season too, but
maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
The question is then, how long does Postecoglou last? And is the appointment of Postecoglou a good one?
I don't think so. He lost 19 league games last season with Spurs.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're arguably a better squad or not. Maybe better facilities, but I really don't get it. I think he's shot himself in the foot, and I'm known to be wrong. But enjoy your relegation, Forest.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's too much too soon to say that, but it's also, I agree with you in the sense of I don't think it's a good appointment, because Forest last season, especially under Nuno, their whole brand of football was built on being solid, counter-attacking very, very quickly. Postecoglou is high press, possession based. It's like a completely different style of play. So to bring him in after the season's already started, obviously only had 2 days of training before the Arsenal game today. When we record, this podcast will go out on Monday, but today, yeah, does he last the season?
I don't think so. But it all depends. It all depends how they get on, doesn't they? If he hits the ground running, which he hasn't done because they lost 3-0 to Arsenal today, but is that a gimme sort of thing? Like, do you think, oh well, we probably will lose that one? And like you say, only been in it 2 days, but yeah, me personally, I don't see it. I think this is the problem of sometimes football owners. They don't really get football, and then he's essentially hired his mate, isn't he?
Yeah. So what happens when that relationship goes sour? Because if the results on the pitch aren't great, I suppose they don't improve. He's only had 1 game, but if the results on the pitch aren't great throughout the season,
or it depends. Will he sack Edu first before the manager? Will he blame other people around him?
I doubt it.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Watch this space.
You wanted to bring up Postecoglou's comments in his first press conference as well. I can't actually remember what he said.
It wasn't. I don't know if it was his first press conference. It was in the newspapers saying how he knew he was going to be sacked before the Europa League final. And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But then why at the trophy parade is he saying, oh, season 3 is always better than season 2? Unless it's just mind games with the board to see how the fans reacted, because obviously they were supportive.
They were euphoric after winning the Europa League, weren't they? So they wanted him to stay because of that love for after they won a first trophy.
Yeah. But then it is season 3 for him now, isn't it? Just with a different team. So,
well, does this count? Because I saw this debate going out on social media the other day. You know his comment about I always win things in my second season, mate. Does this count as his first season at Forest, or because it's not a full season, is his first full season next season? Like, when are we expecting him to win a trophy in his second season, if he even makes it?
Well, after 3 games? No, this is his first season, just because he misses 3 games.
Well, he needs to qualify. We need to know.
If there'd been 35 games and he only had managed for 3, then it wouldn't be his first season. Like,
no, fair enough. Talking of Tottenham, another bit of breaking news that came out of nowhere over a week ago now. Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
Leaving his role, it wasn't by his choice. It was those above him, majority shareholders above him, removing him from his role as executive chairman. Kind of as a bit of a surprise to you.
It was a surprise, but I wonder if he's being scapegoated as well, because apparently not all the decisions are down to him, are they?
Well, he has, from an article again that I'd read from The Athletic, he has his attention to detail and his control at that club was across a lot of things. But fundamentally, again, those above him, the Lewis family of majority shareholders, had decided that while he's been in this position for 24 years there, they agreed more with the sentiment from Tottenham fans that they should be more competitive on the pitch. They decided, the Lewis family, to hire some consultants to look into Tottenham's performance. I think at the start of this year was from the article that I read. Because of the season that they had last year while they won the Europa League, it was that poor on the pitch that they didn't understand what was happening, why it was happening. So as well as looking at things that were happening on the pitch, it was also to look at all the decision making and the structures of the pitch. And they've made a few changes in that structure. They made a few changes since about March this year. 2 or 3 people that have been hired, including the former Arsenal CEO. But Levy is the latest casualty in that, which was surprising, or at least from my side when I saw it. Yeah,
but quarter of a century almost of. I mean, he's changed the facilities, hasn't he? He's got that ball rolling in the stadium, so he does leave a bit of a legacy.
That was going to be my question to you, though. How do you define would you consider what he's done there to be a success or not? What is his legacy at Tottenham?
There's an argument to say yes, because he's a chairman, not a football manager. So, and the football club is still running and it's still making money. So yes, he has been a success in that instance. He's not wanted to risk the business side of things for the football side of things, has he? So, but football is an entertainment game, and at the end of the day, you're going there because you want to be entertained. You want to see your team win things, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue that
like matches.
Yeah,
you know,
I'd argue that
they didn't even win 50% of their league games last season.
No, I know. I mean, it's their worst season for many, many years. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'd argue that your point about them being entertaining. I don't remember. To be fair, were they entertaining under Harry Redknapp? Yeah, but the point,
I think I'd say they were entertaining under Redknapp.
They've always been broadly entertaining. It was only that spell probably under Mourinho and Conte when they became a bit more turgid to watch. But under Pochettino, they were certainly entertaining. Under Redknapp,
his big mistake was sacking Pochettino the season after the Champions League final. They went through their first little bit of sticky patch, and he got rid of him. He needed to be given the time, and he should have been afforded the time just to work through that a little bit.
I would argue, as Tottenham fans have also said to me, his big mistake was not investing in the squad when they were there. Second Champions League final, you just needed one or two more players to push that team on. They didn't do it. They bought squad players, if any. I think there was one summer window.
We know all about that, don't we?
Yeah, I know, as Arsenal fans, but so the question that I asked about his legacy, it kind of sums up Tottenham over the last 20 years from his time there. Very well run off the pitch. Commercially, there has been massive growth. What he's done with the stadium, in terms of moving into that stadium and all things to do with that off the pitch, again commercially, the F1 bit underneath, the concerts they run. But on
good
the
Red
pitch,
Hot Chili Peppers concert there, wasn't it?
Very good Red Hot Chili Peppers concert there.
By the way,
yeah, it was just when I love the reference. Yeah, I got it.
I wasn't sure.
No, I got it. I was just thinking about how when we got there that night, it was. Well, we were speaking in the days up to it, weren't we? Are they going to play Can't Stop? Are they going to play Can't Stop? You've seen a set list. Doesn't look like they're going to play Can't Stop. First song, bosh. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm good. I can go home now.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah. Very, very good. But on the pitch, to come back to Levy, 2 trophies in 24 years.
Yeah.
They had the opportunity to win more if they'd gone out and spent a little bit more money at certain phases. Yeah, we'll see.
I think it's well summed up by the Juventus player. Was it Chiellini?
Is this the history of Tottenham?
Exactly.
Yeah, indeed. Did you keep up to date much with deadline day and the transfer moves that followed?
No.
Welcome back to the casual fans. Well, that's actually, it sums it up with casual fans.
Yeah, but I'm casual. Like, I'm already fed up with football.
So why'd you do the podcast?
Because you like doing it, and I like talking football with you.
Fair enough, yeah. Well, that was the original reason why we started it, wasn't it?
Because we like football. Don't get me wrong, I still like football. I'm just saying I'm a bit fed up with it. Like, to quote another Family Guy quote, insist upon itself. And it really does.
That was The Godfather, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you talk about The Godfather, yeah.
I was wrecking my brain.
I've never cared for The Godfather. Yeah. It insists upon itself, Lois. Yeah. Lois. And it does, like, it's like even Sky Sports News, like on deadline day, talking about that. And they're talking about all this money that they're spending on players. And then it goes to the adverts and it's like, can you give us £10 a month for the donkey sanctuary? And then it's like, oh, so-and-so needs water and we need this money from you. And it's like, okay, 125 million on Isaac. Well, and it gets lost. I think it gets lost. It's almost like they're in their own little bubble.
But especially Premier League football more than any other division. So I know top divisions around Europe have spent a lot of money as well. It dwarfs in comparison. I think the stat was that the Premier League outspent Ligue 1, La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga combined. Now, a lot of money was still thrown around those leagues. So the point that you're making, or insists upon itself, that there's just too much money in football in general, I completely agree with. But I was reading, it was either an interview or an article done with Nigel Clough, current Mansfield manager, Brian Clough's son, and him talking about, I don't think Mansfield spent any money this summer. They tried to, but I think either League 1 or League 2's overall spending was about £2 million, something like that. And that's a professional league still.
Yeah.
That's a few divisions away from the Premier League. It is a completely It's its own entity, the Premier League, isn't it? It's the Super League. That's what people have been saying.
Yeah, it just irks me a little bit, and I know I'm not going to be popular for that because people get tribal when it comes to football. But I still think, like, with the subscriptions, you know, TNT, Sky, Amazon now to watch all your football if you want to watch it. And again, I sort of just think, well, no, I won't pay it. Like, it's too much. But people have that fear of missing out. And then opening day, what was the first game on Saturday? Villa Newcastle 0-0.
0-0. Yeah.
Like, and then I think it was Super Sunday, wasn't it? It was Man United Arsenal.
Yeah, which was
and
who
was before that?
I can't remember now. You know, I can find out.
Because someone else was before that, and I remember in one of our group chats there was a lad going, worst Super Sunday ever.
Yeah,
and they hype it all up, and the other thing as well, like when I say it insists upon itself, like we're going to have in a couple of weeks' time about, oh, it's the green weekend, make sure you're only using the right amount of water, and these people, like these clubs, you're talking about like the carbon footprint, the buses they use, the planes, like constant.
Chelsea against Palace was the game before, which was a 0-0. So, yeah. No, I know. Because it just feels like there's so many eyes, so many talking points. Everyone. I mean, football. Go on. What you can say?
No, it's just like they talk about it like it's life and death all the time, and it's just sometimes it just needs to have a bit of humility about itself. But like I say, it's tribal because there'll be fans there who'll go, well, don't watch it then, don't do this, don't do that, blah blah blah, and it's just like you look at the ticket price and that sort of thing. The power isn't with the fans anymore because if you and I had a season ticket and we go, all right, I'm not paying that, there's 5 people waiting who haven't had that opportunity before and will happily go until they realise,
More than that, yeah.
Yeah, it just irks me a little bit because they're just completely out of touch. And like when you see the punditry and they're talking, and they dissect everything so much as well. I mean, I know we dissect things, but again, we do it from a fan's point of view, but it is just a bit of fun, isn't it? We're not like, but yeah. I don't know.
In terms of some of the moves then, I'm not going to obviously run through everything. It was just a few of the major ones that I wanted to note down. Eze to Arsenal, I did always want to start with. That wasn't actually a deadline day move, but we'd spoken about him previously. And already, I know he played a little bit against Liverpool. Again, at the time of recording, we've just seen Arsenal beat Forest when he played pretty well. But is that a signing that you're happy with? I know you mentioned previously that you kind of wanted him to stay at Palace to keep Palace's squad together. But from my own side of things, speaking as an Arsenal fan, over the moon that we got him.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, as an Arsenal fan, I'm happy he's there. And English player, talented player. And looked sharper than Martinelli already, didn't he? So, but as a football fan, I am disappointed that it's made Palace now weaker. And that then makes the league weaker, and the top 6 are monopolising it a little bit. But yeah, as an Arsenal fan, happy he's there.
Talking of Palace, they did keep Gahey though. But does it show with things like Isak and Wissa down in tools and getting a move, but with Gahey acting professionally but not getting his move, that down in tools and acting unprofessionally is the way to go going forwards?
No. I actually think he's probably got a lot more respect from the Palace fans and from other clubs looking at him. In January, he can sign on a free to a European club, can't he, if he wants to?
Yeah, I think Liverpool is still going to come in for him next summer with a contract.
Yeah, and so be it. But I like the way that Palace backed Glasner with that, though, because obviously he said, if you get rid of him, I want Premier League proven to replace, and they couldn't get a replacement in, and that's why they didn't sanction the sale.
Well, I think they were happy to sanction the Shanks. I think
say it 4 times in a row.
Virgil van Dijk. Big Bam Burn. I think they were happy to sanction the sale, those at the Palace board level, but Glasner kind of put his foot down.
Yeah.
He came out yesterday in his press conference and denied the fact, because there were rumours of Glasner saying, if you sell Gahey, I'm walking out, I'm leaving. He denied that in his press conference yesterday, but
that's between him and the club anyway. Yeah. Even if that is the case.
No, of course.
And you keep those conversations private.
Yeah, of course. But he's entitled to say to me, because I saw some Liverpool fans before Glasner revealed that in his press conference over the last week or two, just commenting on social media that Glasner was wrong for doing what he did. Obviously, they're going to speak from Liverpool's perspective, but he's entitled.
They've signed enough though this summer, haven't they?
They're a little bit short at centre half,
greedy,
which is their own issues.
Yeah, but then they signed they signed. I can never pronounce his name. Ekitike. Thank you. It's the same forwards as it is backwards. A palindrome. Ooh, great commentating. Thanks, TNT. They signed Ekitike, who Newcastle wanted to sign as Ozil's replacement. And part of me thinks they've done that deliberately just to tick them off.
Wind up Newcastle. Yeah, then if I was Newcastle, I know they got very, very good money for Isak, but he's on a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
Let him rot in his reserves for a year.
Yeah, I'd have done that. See you later.
If you're going to kick out that much of a fuss.
And I'd have changed his diet, and I would have made him train.
Yeah, you're going to kick out that much of a fuss. Obviously, you get less money for him when it comes to selling him, but he's your player. You've got him under contract for 3 years. Yeah. Oh, well. How impressive have you been with Jack Grealish as well since he's moved to Everton? New lease of life. Is Pep the problem?
Is Pep the problem? Well, it's Pep's system, isn't it? Like, he obviously prefers playing with a bit of freedom.
Or is it just how teams set up against City? Because naturally they're going to sit deeper against them.
A little from column A, a little from column B, but he's got a bit more freedom to do what he wants, hasn't he? And yeah, it doesn't surprise me that it's worked out so far. And he'll get game time because he's a good player.
Do you think he should be in the England squad, Grealish?
Do I think he should be in the England squad? I think he's got. If he continues playing the way he is, I think he's got a shout of getting back in the England squad. I'm trying to think who's on that left-hand side. Is it Eze?
Well, he took Rashford, who played there against Andorra.
Yeah.
Eze can play centrally, but can play out there, and obviously will be playing there for Arsenal. I think that'll be his main position. Madueke and Saka will be on the right-hand side. I don't know if he's got anyone else out left. Anyone else that he took? I can't think off the top of my head, but Eze and Rashford are the two most prominent ones.
I mean, potentially. You could not take Jordan Henderson and take Grealish, couldn't you?
Yeah. He's going to find himself on the plane to the US, isn't he, Jordan Henderson?
Yeah. Still car tracks. And James Trafford, well done to being relegated to Scott Carson. I told you he would be. Oh, we've spent £26 million on Donnarumma and 31 on Trafford. Who are we going to start as number one?
But because there's a debate going around that Donnarumma isn't as good with his the ball at his feet as compared to other goalkeepers, which he isn't.
What's his job?
To keep the balls out the back of the net. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But you know what? Again, you mentioned Pep's system and what Ederson has been prolific at, because Ederson isn't the best shot stopper in the world. Come up with big saves in moments.
But pings the ball across the halfway line to Sane. Yeah, I know. But Trafford apparently but. You must have seen a mistake, mustn't you, against Spurs?
I was watching it. Yeah, I was watching it.
But he can see everything in front of him. Why are you playing that ball there?
I don't know.
Why are you not dinking it into the midfield, or at least playing it out wide? I don't get it. So we don't know what has been promised and what's been said. But yeah, because United fans thought they were going to get Donnarumma, didn't they?
And then they bought
Lemons.
Yeah, Lemons.
I've seen his highlight reel.
Was that made after United signed him by any chance by a rival fans?
I'm not sure, but like I say, I've seen his highlight reel and there's some mistakes there. But David De Gea made mistakes when he first got there.
Yeah, he looked lightweight, didn't he? And then he turned into he's United Player of the Season for multiple years, and they should never have got rid of him, as we said at the time.
What a legacy Ten Hag has left on that club. Gets rid of one of their best goalkeepers. I'm not going to say their best ever goalkeeper, but one of their best goalkeepers. Because he can't play from the back with the ball at his feet, to someone that can't catch a cold. He let him go on a free, didn't he? And signs Onana for 40+ million. And now they've let him go to Turkey on loan.
Yeah, and if they try and sell Onana, there's no way they're going to get anywhere near what they paid for him back.
No.
Yeah. What is the fascination with picking goalkeepers that are better with the ball at their feet than they are at shot stopping? I don't get it. Is that just the way the modern game goes?
Comes back to that system, doesn't it? But I'm not being funny. You're a professional footballer. You should be able to play a 10-yard pass, shouldn't you?
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Let's come then to... Actually, there's one thing a couple of things more following the transfer window that I wanted to ask you. So based on the transfer window now being shut, would you have any update to your pre-season predictions? So let me bring those up quickly. You had Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea finishing top 4 in that order, and you had Brentford, Leeds and Burnley to go down. Based on the summer business and I guess the first 3 weeks that we've seen in the Premier League, would there be any update or change that you'd have?
I'd say if I'm still going with just one Premier League club to get relegated, I would change Brentford to Forest. Brentford look like they're going to be relying on home games.
What about Wolves?
Wolves will get there, I think. Like they've lost some good players, and when they play the teams around them at home, I think they'll be okay.
Do you think Everton will be a team around them because they played them at home? And they got
Everton are going to be that mid-table team, I think, especially with Moisey.
Yeah, I worry for Wolves only because they've lost 5 or 6 very, very good players, or good players that were fundamental to them staying up last season.
They got a £50 million striker, apparently.
Well, I think they rejected that because they had had to keep him.
I mean, Newcastle was scrambling though as well. Like you'd been better off trying to get Eddie Nketiah, wouldn't you?
Or Mateta.
And he's injured.
Mateta, or not that I want Palace's squad to be ripped apart, but I'm surprised nobody had a look at him.
Edouard on loan, give him another shout.
Yeah,
he likes playing up north.
Edouard.
He did well at Celtic, didn't he?
Celtic got knocked out the Champions League. There's a Simpsons meme that I sent you, wasn't it, Mr. Burns? Smithers! Celtic have knocked out the Champions League! What? Already? Yes! Yeah, Celtic got done against a Kazakhstani club, wasn't it? We're now playing the Champions League.
Yeah, I know. On penalties.
Yeah, I mean, fair play to them. Congratulations to them, but not the best look from Celtic.
Yeah, but they weren't going to win it, were they?
Oh no, they weren't going to win it. But you think
they weren't going to finish top 16 either, were they?
Yeah, but you think back to
Rangers? Did you see them against Club Brugge, as they call them?
Yeah.
Did you see the defending for one of the goals at home?
Are you talking about the one where the centre half
just stopped running?
Butland was going to come out.
Yeah. And Butland was on the edge of his area, but wasn't coming that far, and he dinked it over him.
He's on loan. Good, nice finish. Yeah, he's on loan from Wolves. That centre half, Digia, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Well.
But Rangers are getting the full Southampton experience with Russell Martin in charge, I think.
Well, I think, I mean, a draw of Celtic wasn't a bad result for them, really. But they've drawn all their games, haven't they? And they've got Hearts against big games come up in Scottish League, don't they, all the time? I think if they lose to Hearts, I think he's gone.
We've got Hearts and Hibernian, which, based on the Scottish League where it is at the moment, those are two of the sides that probably finish top 6, are the better sides.
Hibernian Insurance. Pretty good.
Yeah, so you're genuinely going Forest to go down, you think?
Yeah.
No. That's just purely based on the manager that they've got.
He lost 19 league games last season. But it's because he was focusing on the Europa League and the League Cup, apparently, if you believe that.
Yeah.
So he's come in. You don't know how unsettled that squad is. You've got Morgan Gibbs-White who didn't want to be there.
Well, based as well on the fact that we should have said it while we were talking about Nuno earlier, but the one thing that Nuno had was love from the fans, but also love from all of the players. They got on so well. It was a very harmonious squad with the manager. All those relationships now have to be built again.
They've got to change that style of play, and we say they're professionals because they're professional footballers and all that sort of thing, but they're also just human, and it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Like,
yeah.
But I could be wrong. I've known to be wrong plenty of times, and I'll apologise if I am wrong.
It's just an opinion, though, isn't it?
It is just an opinion.
Yeah.
But it's funny because Forest fans were also annoyed at Steve Cooper, weren't they, being sacked the way he was? Yeah. But he doesn't listen. He does what he wants, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, if he's putting that much money into the club and he's got ownership of the club, then at the end of the day, it's his decision. Yeah. Let's come to talking points from the first few weeks, starting with Liverpool and Arsenal as the two teams, not to be disingenuous to Chelsea, but the two teams that towards the top of the league, and also because they play each other match week 3. Now, I'm not sure we mentioned the fact on this podcast before that we're Arsenal fans, and I'm going to start there.
Oh, you're an Arsenal fan?
Yeah, even with the...
Oh, I didn't know. I thought you wore that for a bet.
Yeah, I did. Nice to see you repping the TCF Sport t-shirt as well, by the way.
Well, I needed to have that introduction, didn't I, really, saying welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. Like, I don't want to be sued too much for the nothing I own. Nothing!
Fair enough, yeah. But we're going to start with Arsenal specifically because we both watched a game, not together, messaging throughout it though.
Yeah.
You turned on Arteta. You've gone Arteta out.
I have.
Please explain.
It's more because of the style of play, not because of the loss, and it's not a knee-jerk reaction, and it's not just the Liverpool style of play. It was Old Trafford away as well. Liverpool scored in the 83rd minute from a great free kick. Up until that point, we'd contained them, but we hadn't created anything. Same as United, didn't create anything. United were actually arguably the better team against us. And then when they scored, that's when we started playing and trying to take the game to them. Now, I understand being pragmatic and holding them and etc. etc. But at some point, you've got to try and take the game to the team. They hadn't outplayed us. They hadn't created too much either. And I just think if he continues like that, he's never going to win anything there. So, and that's what I see. I see in all the big games as well. We've got City, next week?
Yeah.
City next week.
Next game.
And you watch how they play against that. They're not going to take the game to them. Even the Forest game today, it's too methodical. It's too patient. And I think I said it to you in a text message. I think it's the Spanish Southgate, too afraid to lose and loses.
So, what you're advocating for is a return to how we played 2022-23 season, when the handbrake was pretty much completely off and it was very, very fluid, very, very attacking. We left ourselves exposed at quite a lot of time, but I think there's been a concerted effort to have more control in games, or at least a facade of control, because control by having more possession and players being more rigid in their positions.
But I don't even think they had more possession with Liverpool. It was periods during the game when they had more possession.
No, but I'm talking about general side of play against every time that we approach a team, every game that we play. That's the way that we want to play.
You score 4, we score 5. I'd rather, but it's not entertaining either. And you're paying 50, 60, 70 quid a ticket, and it's boring.
But
I honestly just dislike the games. I'm not saying to go at Liverpool and go gung-ho and go all out and then be 3-4-0 down, but I'd rather go to Liverpool, take the game to them, and if they get us on the counter-attack and they beat us, so be it. But I know what I've watched and I know who the better team was. That the game that we always talk about at Old Trafford where we lost, was it 2-1, 3-1?
Yeah, the 2022-23
The one where we went 1-0 up and it was re-refereed, wasn't it, from VAR, which we'll get onto with Chelsea Fulham in a little bit. But we knew after that game we'd played them off the park and we outplayed them and we were the better team.
Yeah.
And I just think he's now so afraid to lose. I mean, the Man United game, Roy Keane said at the time, it was like Arsenal have been appalling.
Yeah.
Been so poor. And Grimsby going to score 2 goals from open play against United and then beat them on penalties. Burnley go to Old Trafford, almost nick a win, scoring goals from open play. We've signed now our big striker, but we're not creating any chances for him. I honestly think, and we've had two seasons of this. So we're going to control the game and slow it down, but it's everything. It's the goal kicks, it's the throw-ins, it's slowing it all down completely. And I don't get the style of play anymore.
Well, I'd argue this has been.
He's don't get me wrong. He's done really well to get us back to the Champions League consistently. But there's times now when you need to go, right, we're going to take the game to you and we're going to show you we're the better team and we're going to beat you. And there's times to be pragmatic and to hold possession and hold teams, see games out, etc. But I just don't see the way he's going at the moment. I'll judge him by the next sort of big fixtures he goes to when he plays City, Newcastle, Chelsea. But if it continues like that, he won't ever win anything like that.
Well, because from my side of things, I disagree. I agree in the sense of we should have gone for it more at Anfield. I thought the first 45 minutes, I was a little bit disappointed with the team selection because I wanted to be more progressive. I didn't understand why he started Marino, to be quite honest. I know he played pretty well today, but I thought it was too pragmatic, too defensive. But the first 45 minutes against Liverpool, I thought we did a good job quieting down the crowd, things that you have to do at Anfield, controlling the ball, controlling the game, because I thought no threat from Liverpool at all. We established a foothold in the game. My issue was that at half-time, or at least far earlier than he made the subs, because I think he did about the 70th minute, Ødegaard and Eze should have come on.
Yeah.
That was the time to, right, we've got a foothold in the game, now let's go and win the game second half, which he didn't do. So that's my criticism. However, I think after 3, I know some of it's based on the side of football last season, but we've made a lot of signings since then. We had a lot of injuries last season. Not that I'm making excuses, but there is quite a few new players to come into the squad, to bed into the squad for this year. To make a decision after 3 games so far this season, or now 4 games, that no, he needs to be replaced, I think is a little bit too premature. But the proof will be in the pudding when we play City, when we play Newcastle.
I'm not saying he needs to be replaced. I'm just saying, I'm not actually saying he needs to be replaced right here and now. I'm saying he's never going to win anything. And if you want to win things, you need to replace him.
So then who would you go with?
Who would I go with? I'd go with the Bournemouth manager.
Or Glasner is what you messaged me as well.
Yeah.
I'd
give them a chance with better players. but the Bournemouth manager would be the one. And I know he had. We thought. I know you said he was going to be sacked when he lost to Wolves in his first season, but a bit of time, a bit of patience. Well, no, it was 10 games in, and that does happen.
Yeah.
But you look at the team he's got now. I mean, he's had to rebuild his whole defence really. And having seen the keeper against Liverpool, I was like, "Oh, dodgy." He said that to you, didn't I? And he's kept 2 clean sheets in his following 2 games. So, goes to show what I know. And again, like I said with the Forest thing, if come the end of the season he's won the league or the Champions League, I'm not talking about the FA Cup as much as I like the FA Cup. It's got to be league or Champions League, isn't it? And if he's won one of those, then I'll hold my hands up and apologise and say I was wrong. But the way he approaches games at the moment, I do not see them winning anything if he continues like that. Because it's not just the big games he approaches like that.
Yeah, well, we said it last season. We both said it, that the style of play, as you've already made the point as well, in pretty much every game that we played, it was just slow. It was methodical, as you said. There wasn't any fluidity to it.
But they seem to be happy. We'll get a goal. We know we can not concede. But that doesn't happen, especially the second half of last season. First half of the season, they started like that. And the second half of last season, they were conceding. We drew, was it 14 games last season? Something like that?
Yeah, and the number of points that we threw away after going 1-0 up. Yeah.
But there you go. I mean, Gary Neville said it in commentary, and I don't always agree with him. But he's like, I don't know why. It was like Arsenal played with the handbrake on, and I don't know why. But yeah, so I was angry at the performance, not the result. I mean, I wasn't happy with the result, obviously. But Liverpool, it's not like Liverpool tore us to shreds. Do you know what I mean? We didn't make them really take the game to us either.
No, it was just a worldie that won it, and
it was don't get wrong, great goal.
Yeah.
Tickaboo! Do you know what I mean? But just, like I say, I don't see him ever winning anything continuing like that. And I think this is his final season to do it, because I think there's been sort of stuff said that he's now been backed in the transfer market. So
that's something that I disagree with as well, in the sense of, I think a lot of Arsenal fans will become frustrated and will turn on him if we don't win anything major this year. But again, from articles that I'd read, as long as he qualifies for the Champions League, we're probably going back to the days of when 4th place was a trophy. Maybe not in exactly the same way, but the board are happy with that because it's continuous money, it's
revenue,
competing towards the top of the league. They're not going to pull the plug on him. They're going to keep him in place.
Okay, we shall see. Remains to be seen.
We shall see. Interesting. On Liverpool, did you watch any of their game against Newcastle as well, by the way?
No, was that Monday Night Football?
It was Monday Night Football.
I saw the 16-year-old.
16-year-old. Good finish.
16! Yeah, lovely finish, wasn't it? Yeah. He didn't even take a touch first time.
Conviction in it.
Yeah, I saw that. Gordon, donut.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those for a while.
Donut of the week. About 3 weeks ago, yeah.
I mean, he could be that every week, wouldn't he? With his hair and his hairband. Every time he comes on, Dad's like, stupid haircut. Sorry.
What was he doing, though? I don't understand. I know you advocate on leaving one on Van Dijk more than most people, but what was that? Stupid.
Jordan Pickford called him up beforehand, was like, that Virgil is soft, lad.
But you think that Newcastle, I know they were 1-0 down at the time. They had dominated the first half without creating a bucket load of chances. Get into half-time, reset with 11 men on the pitch, go again second half. And yeah, they did really, really well with 10 men, even after going 2-0 down. But to state the obvious, it would have been easier with 11 on the pitch. Had they kept 11, they might not have lost the game. Brain-dead decision-making. The vast majority of football, you already mentioned it with James Trafford, with his decision to pass the ball where he played it against Tottenham, is decision-making. I don't understand sometimes what players do. I get in the heat of the moment it can be difficult sometimes, but those simple decisions, no? And I say this obviously not having played at that level. Used to play a little bit, but nowhere near that level.
Yeah, but it's still the same decisions, isn't it? Whether you're at that level, and really you could argue that at that level your decision making should be better because you're professional.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Do you think Liverpool regret not buying Gahey or a centre half? Do you think they're a little bit light even after all the money that they spent?
No, because you score 6, they'll score 7. I think with Liverpool.
Fair enough. How long do you think it will take to see Isaac starting there? And actually, that's a good point that I wanted to ask you. You mentioned about Ekitike earlier. What do you think happens to Ekitike now? Or what would you be feeling if you saw Isaac come in after the start that he's had?
I think Ekitike moves over to the left.
I don't know what he was like playing out at Frankfurt. I'm assuming he played through the middle, but I'd never watched enough of the Bundesliga to know. But Cody Gakpo out there, he's done all right so far.
Yeah, but he also rotated between Gakpo and Diaz, didn't he? So, and Ekitike's obviously got the pace. I think if you look at Ekitike, I think a couple of his goals, I'll probably get slated for this, have been a touch on the lucky side. Like he's had the run of the ball. If you look at the Bournemouth one, where it sort of bounced off the defender's leg, hit his leg, and ran
still
nicely
credit
for
to
him
for making the run.
Yeah, no, he still finished it off well. And I think there was another one where it was a little bit. I'm not sure if it was the Community Shield where it was a little bit.
No, that was a good
like
finish into.
That was
he got the ball from Verts, turned and fired it into the corner.
I think potentially there might have been one more, but
against Newcastle, but I don't think that was lucky. That was just Newcastle switching off from kickoff.
So what I mean is just his final touch looks a little bit. At the moment, he's had a bit of the run of the ball, basically, with some of it, but he's still obviously a good player. And going back to the Community Shield, obviously that goal, we took that well, but then he had a couple of chances that he then missed, didn't he? There was a header, and I think another one that he skied. But yeah, I think he'll move out to the left a little bit, and also the amount of games they play, he will rotate between him and Isaac. And Isaac is injury prone, isn't he? So,
as you said previously, it's also based on that and based on the fact that he hasn't had a proper pre-season. I know he's been training on his own, but no matches played.
That's his fault though, isn't it?
No, I know. I don't disagree with that, but I think Slot said that it's going to take him at least until the start of after the next international break for him to play consistent minutes at Liverpool. That might change with the number of games that they play, but wait and see on that one, I guess. Let's come to VAR, because this is quite a hot button topic and one that we are going to agree on, because first and foremost, the decision to rule out Josh King's goal against Chelsea, that must be one of the worst of the Premier League era, VAR era in the Premier League.
That is the worst decision since October 3rd, 1995.
I thought you were going to say since Michael Oliver. Why don't you bring that one back in? But what happened October 3rd, 1995?
The jury verdict for the O.J. Simpson trial came in.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Just appalling, innit? And then what was the phrase the referee used?
Oh, that was the worst part about it. A reckless challenge, something like that. Yeah.
Clumsy, wasn't it? Was it? Oh no, maybe reckless or
yeah.
Or,
it wasn't even a challenge. He wasn't challenging for the ball. He had the ball under his control.
But he was also protecting the ball. Yeah. Shalaba was going to go into the back of him.
Yeah.
He's protecting the ball. He can't see Shalaba.
Where else is he meant to put his foot?
I wonder if because he's been sent to VAR, because we don't see this too often, do we? That because he's been sent there, he's then been sort of swayed by that and thought, oh no, actually, yeah, I'll give it, and it just. Honestly, it's a re-referee in the game, and it's the worst decision ever. And then, because of the added time, Chelsea go 1-0 up. It's corruption at the highest level. It's not even. I just.
Did you message me to say it feels like that top six or top six associated? Was that you that messaged me to say that?
Yeah, something along the lines of, oh well, it's a top six tax, isn't it? Go there, expect decisions to go against you. What can you do though? Like literally, you've gone 1-0 up. And then you go in 1-0 down. You're chasing the game away at Chelsea.
Throws your game plan out the window.
Because I know I don't like looking at the table, and I know it's early days, but the table came up earlier. They're on 2 points in the relegation zone. It's just like, well,
yeah. And one thing that we haven't said, but it got made at the point that got made at the time, that would have been that 18-year-old Josh King's first Premier League goal. Yeah. A very well taken goal because he had the composure to slot it past Sanchez in the near post. Taken away from him by a completely ridiculous, idiotic decision. I don't get it. But this is what I don't understand about referees. If you've played the game to any level, you would know that there is nothing that Rodrigo Muniz could have done about that.
Like I say, when I saw it, I was just like, what is that? Like, seriously, what is that?
Absolutely fuming. Absolutely fuming.
I was going to try and get a clown mask and put VAR on my top for today, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't find it in time.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just...
Did you think anything anything was wrong with the decision to award Chelsea a penalty as well in the second half? Because there are about 4 or 5 little incidents in the lead up to the penalty, Sessegnon's handball.
Well, they've made a rod for their own back, haven't they? Because there was an argument that I think one of the Chelsea players caught, was it Iwobi?
Yeah, Caicedo stepped on Iwobi's foot.
Yeah, now if the first one's a foul, then that's a foul, isn't it? But you've made a rod for your own back. But really, no, it was it should be probably was a penalty, wasn't it?
Well, it was Stonewall handball. The only issue that I had, I think it got called soft at the time, but João Pedro leaning into Anderson when Anderson had already jumped. I understand why people say it's soft, but when you're in the air having already jumped, any little nudge, you can't do anything about it. So to me, that was a foul.
I get it, but that would be... Then we're going to be hypocrites because we're saying we're re-refereeing the game.
I know,
the refs
of course,
seen it.
of course.
And for me, that's not what VAR's there for.
No, and you hit the nail on the head with the point about re-refereeing.
So the referee thinks it's not a foul, then it's not a foul. It's the same with the one where the referee doesn't think it's a foul. I don't know why VAR's getting involved in that whatsoever.
Just leave it. Just leave it.
Oh yeah, but again, and this is why what I said earlier about I'm fed up with football. This is why I'm fed up with it, because it's ruining the game.
One aspect.
The game's gone. The game's gone.
One aspect of it. Yeah. Did you think any of the penalty that United got against Burnley? You know, Jadon Anthony's shirt pull on Diallo.
Yeah, well, again, that started outside the box, and then when he's got in the box, he's then gone down. And I sort of think, well, the foul started outside the box, so I know VAR isn't there to give free kicks, but surely you'd mention that to him, wouldn't you? But I mean, those celebrations were embarrassing, weren't they? I think Paul Merson said it on Soccer Saturday. It's like, you'd think they won the World Cup.
Well done, lads, you beat Burnley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's come to a few other clubs before we wrap up, because already been quite a long episode, but there's been a lot to get through.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've quite enjoyed it.
It just flies by. West Ham is who I want to come to next. More Graham Potter. So they had a very, very difficult first couple of games. And then they went to Forest and did what they did against Forest. So...
Oh, yeah.
Paquetá, he was confirming that he was staying.
Did he have a bet on or something?
Did you see, talking of him doing that, Fabrizio Romano come out and say on a podcast the other day that sometimes social media and journalists on social media can make a deal collapse because they reveal too much information too soon. It's like...
I am God!
But
kneel before me. Like,
I don't know, because I haven't seen the full podcast. I just see it in the comments, so I don't want to take it out of context. But I don't know if he was talking about himself within that, because he, arguably more so than anybody else, well, he's the most high-profile social media sports journalist. He announces all sorts of moves.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really believe that personally. If a club really wants a player, then... Unless the journalist has obviously done some digging into the player and there's something in the background going on legally or physically that they've dug up. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'd agree with that personally. But
fair enough. So on West Ham anyway, I just wanted to ask, do you think Potter's under that much pressure, or has he sort of alleviated it a bit with the performance of win against Forest? It felt like they were on the cusp of mutiny, West Ham fans.
Well, West Ham fans get what they deserve. I think we said it on this podcast, didn't we? I know I did.
You said it, yeah.
We're fed up with Moyes, blah, blah, blah. When's your European trophy? Yeah, but it's not good enough, etc., etc. Go to Lopetegui, not happy because the style of play is rubbish again and we're too open, etc., etc. Go to Potter. Moyes goes to Everton and does really well, finishes above you. Like, you reap what you sow. If you get relegated, that's on you. You wouldn't have got relegated with West Ham. You wouldn't have got relegated with Moyes, would you? Mm-hmm. So, again, I have no sympathy for certain sections of that fan base that were calling for Moyes to go. Potter needs to be given a bit of time. I'm probably never going to be able to walk around West Ham again.
Well, I'm just going to say it's going to make a great clip.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at you going, I'm going to get...
Ka-ching!
This is the clickbait. I'm going to get... I mean, fortunately, I'm not really prevalent on social media, so all the death threats and all that sort of thing will just go through you. But
yeah. Guy in the red shirt doesn't know where he is, what he's doing. Still my favourite comment.
Yeah, but where do you think I am? Like, help me out then.
Yeah. The issue with West Ham, though, before they made some of the signings that they did, was no legs in midfield. So they're playing James Ward-Prowse and Rodriguez, I want to say. I can't remember exactly, but again, judging by the West Ham fans that I came across on social media, just saying that the midfield had absolutely no energy. Because Souček as well, who isn't exactly the quickest either. They signed Fernandes from Southampton for £40-odd million. Played well against Forest. I know it's only one game. And another lad from the French league. They've sort of gone out to fix that issue. Probably should have done it before the season started, really. But yeah, we'll see what happens now. Good result against Forest. Alleviated the pressure a little bit. Go from there.
Yeah.
City as well. We've already spoken briefly about Donnarumma, but not to be too premature, are they still title challengers based on the first 3 games?
Based on the first 3 games, that'd be a no, wouldn't it? Because they've lost 2. But I think
6 points behind Liverpool already, and the metric that Dad and I always used to use is title winners in general.
More than 3 games.
Can't lose more than 3 games.
I thought you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Well, in the Ferguson era of the 90s, early thousands, I think you could definitely up to late 90s, you could lose up to about 6 games.
Yeah, well, teams got around 80 points, wasn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, with Pep and Klopp, that was like you can't lose more than 1 or 2. But they've still got to play Liverpool twice, haven't they? So I'm not going to say they're not title challengers, not in the slightest. So answering your question, you'd say yes, just based on the question itself. But thinking about all the other, what's the word I'm looking for? Not demographics, but thinking about all the other moving parts of the question, really.
Yeah.
No, that's still it's
too
way
early
too
to
early.
say. Fair enough.
Isn't it? Way too early.
Yeah. Which of the promoted sides do you think have enjoyed the best start so far this season, or who have you been most impressed with out of Burnley, Leeds and Sunderland?
Probably Sunderland, because they've got 2 wins, haven't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that being said, their win against Brentford, Kelleher should have done better for the second goal.
He should have done better for the second goal, and I know it was at 0-0, but Brentford also had a penalty.
Cost me points.
Why did... Kelleher or...
Kelleher, because I think I had 1-1, didn't I?
Yeah, and it got James 3 points because of the last-minute goal, because he had 2-1 Sunderland. But against Forest, their number 9, Igor Thiago, whatever his name was, took the penalty, scored. Against Sunderland, with Igor Thiago still on the pitch, Sharda took the penalty, and it was a weak-as penalty.
I don't know, but maybe Thiago will be taking them again.
I imagine
after that. But yeah, I mean, Burnley obviously beat Sunderland at home, didn't they? It's going to be home form for them. It'll be interesting to see how... Well, they've got Liverpool, so for me, that's a gimme for Liverpool.
Yeah.
But scored 2 goals, took the game to Man United at Old Trafford, was only because of the Premier League patch where the printing had come away, was why he was offside for the 3rd goal. That was a lovely finish.
It was a
round
good
the
finish.
keeper, didn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they get on, really. Leeds, 2 0-0s at home and a 5-0 away at Arsenal.
1-0 at home against Everton.
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought it was a late penalty. It should have been a 0-0 because with that one, where's he supposed to put his arm, by the way? The defender?
Well, because that was the debate at the time, wasn't it? His arm's down by his side.
But no, his arm was behind his leg, though.
But he's leaned into it. So I can understand... Did they give it on the pitch?
No, VAR.
Did he? I thought he gave it on the pitch because he took a second or 2. Because that's why, again, we come back to the point about re-refereeing. If he's giving it on the pitch, which I'm pretty sure he did, because it took him But the
VAR is there for the penalties, though, isn't they?
Well, the VAR's there for any major decisions, including penalties, yeah. But, I mean, to me, that's not a clear and obvious error just because he's leaned into it.
That was never a penalty in a month for Sundays for me. That was an awful decision.
But the fact...
Sorry, yeah, that's why I thought it was... Because it was a dross game, wasn't it? And, yeah, no, they won at 90th minutes. Sorry, yeah, 1-1, lost 2, didn't they? No, 1-1 draw, 1 lost 1, sorry. Yeah. And, like, the home games as well, though, 0-0 with Newcastle. I mean, that's not the worst point in the world, is it? But Newcastle at the moment are struggling to score. I don't know. I've not been that impressed by them. And Arsenal, they were lucky it wasn't more than the 5 it was because they gave the ball away a couple of times at the back trying to play out. Yeah, well, away at Arsenal.
Gyökeres should have scored when it was 0-0, wasn't it? He didn't realise how much time that he had.
No, exactly. But then again, maybe he was playing that way because it's like these boys only score from corners, so don't worry about it. What they'll do is we'll give the ball away right in front of goal, and they'll try and kick it off you for a corner.
That's what Gyökeres was doing, wasn't it? He was trying to get deflection.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. That's why Arteta was like, great play, good effort.
Funny. I would say Sunderland.
It's kind of funny.
I would say Sunderland, based on the fact they've had 2 wins. And the performance against West Ham was very, very good.
2 more wins. They've beaten Derby's points. Get in.
I didn't even think of it like that.
Well, it is, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But well done, boys. Halfway there.
I was going to say, the fact that all 3 promoted sides have already won at least 1 game in the league, and at this point, they've only played 3 games each.
And it took them to October last year.
Yeah, it's...
Last season.
Makes it so much more exciting.
Yeah.
it means that maybe we will genuinely have a relegation battle, an exciting relegation battle again.
And with Brentford, Wolves and Forest, I think we'll be dragged in there. West Ham as well.
Potentially, yeah. Wolves are definitely going to be down there for reasons I've already mentioned.
Yeah. I think they just need to stick with the manager and just see it out, because they don't start playing till November anyway, do they, Wolves? And then once they're safe, they stop playing again. It's rinse and repeat last 2 seasons, isn't it? So.
Yeah. You wanted to give a quick shout out to Sheffield United.
Yeah, Sheffield United. So really, really disappointed with Chris Wilder for losing to Sunderland in the playoff final. And they were what? How many points did they finish off of second in the end? Was it 5 or 6?
5 or 6, but they were there the whole way.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Just
they fell away.
tailed off at the end.
Yeah.
So obviously that wasn't good enough. And lost the only 5 games of the season. A well-run club.
Yeah, and 5-0.
5-0 last night against Ipswich. They got their first win against Sheffield United, who are looking like a gimme. And it was a Philly Jean. Got a hat-trick, didn't he?
Talking of Philly Jean, where's the coach, Michael Jackson? You know, the old former Burnley.
I don't know.
Where is he?
He needs to be at Ipswich with him.
Be unbeatable. Yeah, on Sheffield United, I think it sums it up that Sheffield Wednesday, I don't know how much you know about how they're being run at the moment, but the owner wants a massive asking price, but off the pitch, he's sucking the club dry, basically. Yeah. They're all over the place. Got one more point.
One more point. I'm just laughing at you sucking
the
the club
dry. There it is. Expert analysis.
Sucking the club dry.
I wonder why your face reacted.
I'm sure there's another phrase. Oh dear.
Yes, yeah. To wrap up then, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to the FPL League, because at the time of recording, the reason why I want to mention the FPL League is because we had about 80 odd people join in the end, which is a very decent number. Yeah, thank you. I don't imagine they're all followers, listeners, watchers of the podcast, but still, give a shout out nonetheless. At the time of recording, after 3 match weeks, in first place is Luke Skywalker, with 213 points. Second, Amrith Raj, team name Amrith, with 197 points.
Or is that Amroof? Bit like I'm Eric Laporte.
And in third place is a certain Brexit Steve, Californication, with 190 points.
I know, I won't be there for long, don't worry.
It's decent. 190 points.
That's not bad,
It's
really.
a very good start.
I've had to use my wild card game week 4 though.
Join the club.
I think a lot of people had too many injuries.
Yeah, but it's also...
we've not discussed that on this podcast, but how many injuries are going on?
Yeah, or too much football maybe, what we have discussed previously.
Too much football? Oh, yeah, and it makes it boring as well, doesn't it? Mind you, that being said though, like the age of the footballers starting now is getting younger and younger. They're like the teenagers. Look, Odegaard comes off, and then where he came on today and looked better and sharper.
But it gets younger, and I think then it feels like the finishing point is earlier. When I say finishing point, that players fall off a cliff or regress, decline.
That's because of the system, though, isn't it? Because it's all about systems at the moment. We need to go back to a bit of that free-flowing football stuff. Street football.
Yeah, it's never going to go that way again.
Adults wrapped.
I don't think it's ever going to go back to being that way.
Maybe one day. Who knows? That'd be nice.
On that note, have you got anything more that you wish to add?
Just that when you bump into someone, it's polite just to apologise. You know, put me off my routine.
Not make any excuses.
Yeah, not make any excuses. It's not the reason I messed up the opening, the intro. It's just, that's not the reason I messed up the intro. It was just, it was playing on my mind. But that's not the reason. It's not your fault. It's still I still have to deliver the intro. But yeah. But what a tasty episode. Yum yum.
Yeah, on that note, see you next week. Subscribe, comment, like, all the usual stuff.
Or maybe 3 weeks' time, who knows?
Yeah, in a few weeks, yeah.